Welcome to Good Evening KU. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Grayson, and we're going to be your hosts for this evening. So, you know what? We're going to just start it off wrapping up the weekend. It was family weekend. I hope everyone had a great time with their families. What did you do?
My parents came to visit me and we spent some time together. We went out to some restaurants. We got to go to the KU game. It was my first time in a college football game, which was super fun. What about you?
You know what? My family came up. Well, just my mom did. I'm like a sixth generation Jayhawk, so it was like big man on campus, like she's back here. It was a great time. Where'd you go to eat though?
I went to Johnny's.
Which Johnny's?
The West Side Johnny's.
The West Side Johnny's. I like the one, like a little bit over the river, because the up and under, it's a great time. But
I haven't been to that one yet.
Oh, you're gonna have to go. I mean, I can tell it was family weekend. Are you a little sunburned from the football game?
Yes, I got super sunburned. It was way hotter than I was expecting. What about you?
I'm going to be completely honest. I only went to the last quarter. Don't sue me. I only went to the last one because I had such a fun time tailgating with my family, and time got away from us. But you know what? We made it back, and just in time.
Did you see that amazing play by Daniel Highshaw for a 73-yard touchdown?
You know what? I mean, I wish I could say I did. I definitely saw it on tapes right after. Everybody was talking about it. It's been everywhere, streaming all over the place. So I saw it virtually, and that's it.
KU is 4-0 now, and I have to say, everyone asked me when I was deciding to choose KU to come to school, why was I picking KU, because I'm such a football fan. And I said, well, once I get to KU, their football is going to be good, as a joke. And here we are, 4-0. So I've been making sure everyone knows that KU football is good now because I came here.
You know what? I'm glad that you're a freshman because you can't leave now because you're going to be the good luck charm for a long time. You know what? This is my last year, so you know what? If they keep winning, I'll know that you're still here. I'm going to be honest. I did not choose KU for the football team because I've been going here for 4 years and it's not been looking good until now. I chose it because of the basketball team, but fun fact, we're both from Texas, and so all of our friends do go to SEC schools, so I'm assuming just like I do you get texts every weekend before going here about how awful KU's football team has been?
Yes.
So I bet it's so nice to send those texts to them being like,
yes.
What'd you say again?
Absolutely. And also, NFL this weekend, I'm a huge Packers fan. Packers won yesterday, potentially the last matchup between Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, unless they meet again in the playoffs. The Packers won, thankfully, but they almost gave it up at the end because Tom Brady came back, scored a touchdown, but they weren't able to get that 2-point conversion. Do you watch NFL?
I wish I could say I do, and the funny thing about that is I'm the only one that doesn't really, and I'm part of 2 NFL fantasy leagues, so very fun time. Really just doing really far behind a lot of my friends. I'm really just holding on to Josh Allen at this moment. That's all I got going on for me there. Tonight,
the Cowboys are playing the Giants. I think we're both rooting for the Giants because even though we're from Texas, neither of us like the Cowboys.
No, not so much, but good for us though. The Giants should be favored to win tonight.
The Giants are undefeated so far, and so hopefully the Giants will win again and remain undefeated.
Let's see. But the talk of the town today outside Wesco Beach.
Sister Cindy.
So, Sister Cindy, yes, she's been here. She was outside Wesco Beach. Do you know who she is?
I didn't know who she was until today, actually. So, do you know anything about her?
I found that shocking that you had no idea who she was. So, Sister Cindy's been all over TikTok. I think she has got about 42,000 followers. I see her on my For You page all the time. So, what she does is she travels around colleges and gets rallies, petitions, and she tells them not to be a quote-unquote ho no mo because apparently everybody in college is just out here being hoes. And she said, back in college I used to be a hoe, but then I repented to Jesus. And she said that Jesus told me to be a ho no mo. And you know what? I respect the confidence, but all I gotta say about that is it's interesting that people can make all the mistakes growing up and they tell us, they're like, we were wild, young, and free, and they just had so much fun, but then when they get older, they tell us that we can't make those mistakes and have fun. So it's a little hypocritical on my part, but you know what? She's got a following for a reason, and hey, I mean, Did you see her at all today?
There were a ton of people outside Wesco watching her today. My roommates were super excited about it. They went to go see her. I was in class. I didn't get to see her. I walked by and saw the huge crowd, but I also didn't know who she was, so.
I actually had no idea what was going on. I did walk by Wesco and I just saw like a huge group of people, but I did think it was just one of the fraternity's philanthropy events. So I was just like, wow, that's like a huge crowd. But then I saw videos on like my Snapchat stories, and she was there. I heard screaming all the way from Ohio Street outside Wesco. So that was crazy.
Okay, well, we're gonna throw it outside to Hannah, and she's gonna tell us how the weather is today.
Right now, I'm outside of Soccer Flint with the weather. As you can tell, it is a beautiful sunny day here in Lawrence, Kansas. You can't see them, but right beside me is a group of students taking a poetry class. Right now, the high is 76 and sunny. Tonight, sunny conditions are expected to continue with a low of 47. These mild and sunny conditions will continue the rest of the week, with temperatures being in the high 70s and low 80s. Looking forward to Saturday for the football game. The sunny conditions are expected to continue with a high of 79 and a low of 46. Right, we'll be back with the news right after a break.
I always emphasize, get involved. It looks great on a resume. Prospective employers love to see that extra activity on a resume. It shows you're really invested in your education, you want to learn more, and you want to connect with professionals. Just like Media Crossroads, I know there's a lot of opportunities to get involved and develop those multimedia skills. So I encourage all students to take advantage of any opportunity they can take.
This is the best time to make mistakes and to leave without having any regrets. So try everything and don't have the intent of mastering or like being a perfectionist the first time you do it. Really be able to be involved in the environment, learn from everybody around you, and have the perspective, today I'm just gonna be better. And if I mess up, it's okay. I have a team that's gonna back me up the whole entire way. So strive to just be better.
Welcome back. I'm Matthew.
And I'm William. This is your Good Evening KU News Update. Italy may have elected its first female prime minister, and she represents the country's most right-wing government since World War II. Giorgia Meloni is a member of the Brothers of Italy party, which is part of a right-wing alliance that now looks to have control of both the Senate and Chamber of Deputies. Meloni has promised the party would govern for everyone and not betray the people's trust.
You can add nursing homes to the list of employers who are facing staffing shortages. An AARP study found that more than half of the nursing homes in Kansas have faced a shortage of direct care workers over the past year. Another study shows that in the next 15 years, the number of people in Kansas over the age of 65 is projected to grow by more than 40%.
Numbers are steady for the amount of students enrolled in Lawrence Public Schools. Last Tuesday was the official count date, and the district lost just one student, enrolling just under 11,000 for the current school year. State funding is based on enrollment, and now Lawrence administrators can breathe a little easier for the year ahead.
KU students gathered on Wesco Beach last week after the death of Iranian Mahsa Amini, who refused to comply with mandatory hijab rules. Since her death, Iranian women have been protesting in the streets, burning their hijab and cutting their hair short. Local students are standing in solidarity and to create awareness of the oppressive regime.
KU has announced that the children of faculty members will now receive a discount if they attend the school where their parents work. The university says that a new policy allows the employee-dependent tuition assistance scholarship to provide up to half of the yearly tuition for the children of both faculty and staff.
The mysterious blue egg on campus has hatched. Aska Plaza outside the Student Union now displays a new statue of the Jayhawk nest. The statue depicts a large Jayhawk presiding over a nest of baby Jayhawks, including the 1926 Jayhawk.
And now for sports. Here's Rebecca and Courtney.
Thanks, William. Junior quarterback Jalen Daniels accounted for all 5 touchdowns to lead Kansas to a 35-27 win against Duke on Saturday. A sellout crowd of more than 47,000 fans kept Jayhawks pumped up for the entire game as Kansas set their record to 4-0 for the first time since the 2009 season.
KU gained a season high of 528 yards, and Daniels threw touchdown passes to Trevor Cardell, Daniel Hishaw, Luke Grimm, and Lawrence Arnold. He also scored a rushing touchdown to give Kansas a 15-point lead late in the fourth quarter. The Jayhawks will host Iowa State on Saturday with the homecoming kickoff scheduled for 2:30 p.m.
After a tough loss to the number 1 ranked Texas on Wednesday, the volleyball team bounced back with a 5-set victory on Saturday in Manhattan, defeating Kansas State in the Sunflower Showdown. Sophomore London Davis led the way for the Jayhawks with a career-high 21 kills, while fellow sophomore setter Cameron Turner recorded a double-double with 41 assists and 16 digs. KU is now 11-3 overall and 1-1 in the Big 12 Conference. The Jayhawks will be in Norman on Wednesday to take on Oklahoma.
Despite playing well, the soccer team lost 2 tough matches at the Rock Chalk Park this weekend. Oklahoma State shut down at Jayhawks 2-0 on Thursday night, and then yesterday, TCU scored the only goal of the match early in the second half. KU is now 7-5 on the season and 0-2 in the Big 12. Next up for Jayhawks is a trip to West Virginia for a Friday night matchup against the Mountaineers.
Week 3 of the NFL season concludes tonight with a matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. Yesterday, the Chiefs lost in a heartbreaker in Indianapolis, while the Denver Broncos came back to beat San Francisco. Denver and Kansas City are now tied for the lead in the AFC West.
And back to college football for the latest AP rankings after their win over Duke on Saturday. Kansas moved up to number 26 in the country. The poll officially recognizes the top 25, but also lists the other schools who received votes. The Jayhawks received 125 votes.
That's all we've got today for sports. After the break, Emma and Isabel will be back with the next edition of their Great Food Debate. See you in a few.
You may not hear it at first, but it's there. Our chant. Rising. On this summit, callings converge, voices unify into a chorus that sounds out for good, for greatness. Can you hear it?
Welcome back to the Great Food Debate. I'm your co-host, Isabel.
And I'm the other co-host, Emma.
And today we will first discuss the best rankings, our top 3 rankings of donut flavors.
Oh, yeah.
So, Emma, do you want to start with this one?
Okay, so I think are we starting with number 1 or are we going like bottom to top?
Let's go, bottom to top.
Okay, so my number 3 favorite donut is just a basic glazed donut from Krispy Kreme.
From Krispy Kreme,
that one has to be specific.
It's a different donut, really.
No, it really is, because other glazed donuts just don't hit the same.
No.
Okay, what's your number 3?
My third is, it might be a little controversial, but that's what this is about, right? A lemon-filled donut, a glazed lemon-filled. No, Emma doesn't like that one.
No.
Yep, and this is why.
I do not like filled donuts. They're the epitome of donuts.
I think you need to grow up.
I think you need to grow up. Unfilled donuts are for adults.
So, third lemon-filled glazed donut, specifically Krispy Kreme, but I can work with other places too.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Okay, so my number 2. Okay, this is gonna sound childish, but hands down, a chocolate sprinkled donut.
Like
Chef's kiss. It's not number 1, but it's definitely number 2.
It's just so basic, Emma. It's
just, there's something about just a little bit of chocolate icing, and then the sprinkles add like a fun like crunch texture to it.
I get it's good. It's just not in the top 3. No.
It's in my top.
I'll
you know what?
Your opinion.
I can dislike your lemon custard filled. You can dislike mine.
All right.
So what's your number 2?
My number 2 is a blueberry cake donut, I think. I think those, I'm not really a huge fan with mixing fruit and sweets sometimes. I'm like, if I'm gonna be unhealthy, I don't need that. I don't need fruit in here. But the cake blueberry donut just does it for me.
Those are pretty good. I wouldn't say they're top 3, but they're definitely like a good top 5 donut for sure.
Yeah.
So we ready for number 1?
Number 1.
Drum roll, please.
Oh.
My number 1 is a maple donut specifically from Krispy Kreme. Dunkin' would be number 2 on like tier of best maple donut, but maple hands down number 1.
And this is an all year long donut for you too.
Oh
right?
yeah,
not just the
not
season,
seasonal.
like
no,
all year. Yeah.
Maple's always the number 1 go-to.
Right. All right. Well, mine is a Boston cream donut, like custard filled, not cream filled, but like
custard filled. Those, it's scary how many of those I can eat, to be honest. But I love that donut. Don't know if there's any other Boston cream fans out there, but we should have a chat. They're good. They're great.
Okay, we can agree to disagree on that one.
What a different donut. I'm really hungry now after this conversation.
I know, I kind of want to take a run to Dunkin' after this.
Yeah. Well,
unfortunately, we don't have a Krispy Kreme in Lawrence, which is
I'll make
so
the drive.
rude.
I'll make the drive.
No, valid. I will too. But it's just very rude that they don't have one in Lawrence.
For real. There's a lot of
There should
things
be a
I wish
Krispy
were
Kreme in Lawrence. No,
I agree.
Same.
Petition.
Like crumble cookie, hands down, should be in Lawrence.
Costco should
Costco should be in Lawrence.
Torchy's was in Lawrence, but yeah.
No, it's not.
Okay.
R.I.P. Torchy's.
Yeah, this is what we should. These are the petitions we should be having on campus.
If you
at
agree
Wesco
with us,
Beach.
we'll start a petition and we'll get those things in Lawrence.
Yes.
Hands down.
Yes. We'll work on the Krispy Kreme first, especially after this conversation.
So moving on to our next topic, Krispy Kreme versus Dunkin' Donuts.
Well, it sounds like we're pretty pro Krispy Kreme after everything we just said, but I think there's a little bit to debate there.
Yes, for sure, because even though Krispy Kreme donuts are superior, in this conversation, we're just thinking of the two restaurants as an entirety. So Krispy Kreme has got the better donuts, but Dunkin's got the better coffees and non-coffee drinks.
I mean, who's going to be like, oh, I'm going to go grab a coffee at Krispy Kreme? No one. No one.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, if it's there, sure.
Right. Maybe I'll have it on the side, but.
Like a Dunkin' Peach Passion Refresher.
Right.
Their pumpkin spice lattes, oh my God, are absolutely amazing.
So, but at the end of the day, when it comes to donuts, I think we both agree on Krispy Kreme. I know this is a debate, but Em and I agree on this one for once.
Long story short, a donut is a donut,
Yeah.
and they're good either way. Even though dislike custard filled, it's all right.
One of these days, I'll convert you. One of these days.
Probably not, but
I'll have a chocolate sprinkle.
Okay. I'll try a lemon custard filled if you eat a chocolate sprinkled, and we'll have a good time.
I'm glad we could have a neutral conversation about this. Although I did tell you to grow up, but
and I did say that non-filled donuts are adult donuts, so it's all right.
That will be it all. That'll be all for today for the great food debate, and we will see you next Monday.
Have a good evening, KU.